Hi, my name is Haily Aller. I'm interviewing for the MSN. I grew up in Arizona. I went to ASU for undergrad. My entire life, I have sought to help other people. I would consider myself very compassionate and loyal. I grew up volunteering through National Charity League. I went on multiple mission trips and I became very passionate about human trafficking at a pretty young age when I was introduced to it through my church. My educational journey, I went to ASU for criminal justice. It was the route I wanted to go to help people. I was hoping to go into law school and work in human trafficking. Undergrad was a pretty difficult time for me. My grandfather had just died, and I had gone through some pretty hard things in high school. So my depression was at a peak when I went to undergrad. I was really lost and had no idea what I was doing with myself. And becoming an adult and going out on my own was probably the most difficult thing. I did struggle a lot, was not in a healthy place to be furthering my education. And after ASU, I went and moved away and I focused a lot on my mental health, and I have become a lot better of a student because of that. I'm now going through the Maricopa Community Colleges to get my prereqs for this program and have done exceptionally well, I would say, for myself. And I am really proud of the steps I have taken in my educational journey. I want to be a part of this program because I believe that it is my journey to help people. I want to help victims of assault, and I think that nursing is the perfect gateway to getting into something like that. I think that it will bring the empathy that I hope to bring to people that have gone through something so horrific. I think that there are other jobs that I could do similar things, but through those jobs, I cannot personally help the person the way that I hope to help them. My philosophy of care is that I care for others the way I would want to be treated, the way I would want to be cared for. I have shown this in many customer service roles. When I was working in retail and food, I would always make sure that the customer left happy because I always want people to have a good experience. I wholeheartedly believe that we go off of each other's emotions in life. So whenever I am in a role to care for somebody or give them my services, which is giving them a part of myself, I make sure that I am in the best mood possible because what's going on in my personal life has nothing to do with them or what I can give them as a care person, as my job. I also constantly expect the most from myself. I push myself extremely hard to know the most that I can and be the best educated that I can. So I believe that that is something that I will do in nursing education and nursing practice so that I can give the best care. Because if my knowledge is not the best that it can be, then I can't give the best care that am capable of giving. I need to know everything so that I can know so that I can help people get better. I have been working in 911 for about 4 months as an EMT. Um, most of the time I have had a pretty experienced partner. We are on BLS rigs, so 2 EMTs, and we show up to a scene with fire. So I've had pretty experienced partners. My first partner had been in EMS for 5+ years. My second partner had just finished paramedic school, so he was super knowledgeable, and this always prepared me to go into a scene confidently because I was kind of relying on their knowledge and their experience to help lead me. But a couple of weeks ago, I got a new partner, and she is just as experienced or unexperienced as I am. We are very similar in personalities. We both are a little timid and have been relying on other people and got comfortable doing that. But going into that situation, it brought me fear at the beginning. I felt like things were going to go wrong. We were going to start getting first on scene. We were going to mess something up. And the second that started going through my head, I realized that that is when I am not going to be able to give the best care that I can. And I told myself, I know this stuff. I can be confident in what I do. And I realized that because we were so similar in personality, I needed to take on the more confident role and push both of us to become better, or else neither of us were going to. So what I did was pump us up. I told her that we were going to do great. We started reviewing possible scenes. We started reviewing possible incidences. We just started testing each other on what we needed to do going into those scenes so that we were prepared. And of course, right after we started doing that, we start getting multiple calls where we're first on scene. And instead of freaking out and saying, this is the scariest thing that has happened to me in this career that I've just started, I looked at her and I said, we got this. We got this. And it went amazingly. I am so confident in my abilities now. Time that challenged fairness or ethical issues, I would say, would be when I was working in film. I was a post-production assistant, so I handled the editorial department. I handled food, I handled office supplies, I handled office systems, pretty much everything in that department. I had someone that was the same role as me, but in visual effects. And so he handled everything in visual effects. After a while, where he was asking me to do things for him, and at first I thought, okay, it's easy enough. We already are sharing responsibilities, so I might as well. After a while, it started to get really frustrating because I felt like I was doing the job of multiple people. And it wasn't my job to take care of visual effects. They're a completely different department. I do not know them personally the way I know my crew, and that kind of hinders how I can truly help them out. It's a pretty personal industry, and so the way I handled the situation of him asking me to do his responsibilities for him was I went laterally to him. I told him that I didn't think that it was fair, that he wanted me to do certain things, that I was doing more than what my job entailed, and that his department was his responsibility. My personal philosophy with handling issues is if you can't work something out personally with somebody, that's when you go to a supervisor. Before that, I think that dependent on the issue, obviously there are ethical issues that need to be addressed by a supervisor immediately. But with what I was dealing with, I felt like talking to him and saying if we could figure it out was would be the best way.